Picture this. It's a gorgeous summer day. Blue sky, warm breeze, the kind of day that makes you feel invincible. You're hiking with your friends, vibes are immaculate, and someone spots an old wooden structure off the trail. Looks abandoned, looks interesting. Your buddy says, "Dude, let's check it out." You notice the buzzing, that low, constant hum that every survival instinct you have is screaming at you to respect. But your friends are already walking toward it, and you don't want to be the paranoid one. So you follow. Welcome to the consequences. Hey, it's your favorite dead host here, fresh off my third espresso of the afterlife, and today we're talking about one of nature's most underestimated ways to die, getting absolutely deleted by a swarm of bees. Spoiler alert, Hollywood has been lying to you about this one. Hard. In the movies, killer bees are this dramatic cloud of death that chases people through fields while dramatic music plays. The hero jumps into a lake, waits 30 seconds, emerges victorious. Roll credits. But here's what actually happens to your body when 10,000 tiny angry needles decide you specifically need to stop existing. Let me walk you through your last hour on Earth. The moment you disturb that hive, maybe you stepped too close, maybe your buddy threw a rock because he thought it would be funny, the bees don't just get angry, they release an alarm pheromone called isopentyl acetate. Fun fact, it smells like bananas. So if you've ever thought bananas were a harmless, friendly fruit, congratulations! That scent is now the chemical equivalent of a bee screaming, "Attack this specific human," to every single one of its 50,000 roommates. And bro, they will answer that call. Here's where movies really get it wrong. You're not going to outrun these bees. Africanized honeybees, the ones people call killer bees, can pursue you for over half a mile. They fly at 15 miles per hour. Unless you're an Olympic sprinter having the best day of your life, you're cooked. That lake your survival brain is telling you to jump into? Yeah, bees will literally wait above the surface. They're patient. You have to breathe eventually. They don't. But let's talk about what happens to your body, because this is where it gets medically horrifying. The first sting isn't that bad. If you've ever been stung once, you know the drill. Sharp pain, localized swelling, some redness. Annoying, but survivable. Your body releases histamines to fight the venom, inflammation kicks in, and normally your immune system handles it like a minor inconvenience. Now multiply that by 500. When you're swarmed, you're not getting stung once, you're getting stung hundreds, sometimes thousands of times. Each sting injects about 50 micrograms of venom. Doesn't sound like much until you do the math. 500 stings? That's 25,000 micrograms of bee venom flooding your system, and your body, it completely loses its mind trying to respond. This is where we meet our first real killer, anaphylaxis. Your immune system, overwhelmed by the sheer volume of foreign proteins suddenly coursing through your bloodstream, essentially hits the panic button. Histamines flood everywhere. Your blood vessels dilate so aggressively that your blood pressure crashes. Your airways swell shut. Your throat closes up like someone slowly tightening a belt around your neck. You can't breathe. Your skin turns red, then pale, then blue. This can kill you within minutes. But wait, there's more. Let's say you're not allergic. Let's say your body doesn't immediately try to murder itself in response. You still have a massive amount of venom to deal with. Bee venom contains a peptide called melittin, and melittin is absolutely nasty. It destroys red blood cells, like actively ruptures their membranes. This is called hemolysis, and what it means for you is that your blood is literally losing its ability to carry oxygen. Your kidneys? They're next. All those destroyed red blood cells have to go somewhere, and that somewhere is straight through your kidney's filtration system. Myoglobin and hemoglobin clog up the works like coffee grounds in a drain. Acute kidney failure sets in, your body starts poisoning itself with waste it can no longer filter. Spoiler alert, dialysis is not available on hiking trails. And here's the part nobody talks about, the neurological effects. Bee venom contains apamin, a neurotoxin that crosses the blood-brain barrier. In massive doses, it starts affecting your central nervous system. Seizures become possible. Confusion sets in. Your brain, starved of oxygen and flooded with toxins your failing kidneys can't clear, starts shutting down department by department. The whole process, from first sting to cardiac arrest, can take anywhere from 30 minutes to a few hours. You remain conscious for way too much of it. Now I know what you're thinking. This won't happen to me. I'm not stupid enough to mess with a beehive. Except here's the thing. Africanized bees are defensive beyond reason. You don't have to mess with them. You just have to exist too close. A lawnmower vibrating 50 yards away can trigger an attack. A dark-colored shirt, because bees associate dark colors with predators like bears, can make you a target. Even your breath. Carbon dioxide makes them angrier. You can do everything right and still become the main character of nature's most brutal montage. So, what's the actual survival move? If you ever find yourself being swarmed, run. Don't swat. Swatting releases more alarm pheromone and makes the swarm angrier. Cover your face because bees target eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. Get indoors or into a car. And for the love of whatever you believe in, do not jump in water. That advice has killed more people than it saved. But honestly, the best survival strategy is the one your gut already knows. When you hear that buzzing, when every instinct tells you something feels wrong, just leave. Your pride is not worth your kidney function. Anyway, that's what getting killed by a swarm of bees actually feels like. Way worse than the movies, way more survivable if you're not a complete disaster about it, and way more common than anyone wants to admit. If you want to keep exploring the worst ways to go, because apparently that's what you're into, no judgment, hit subscribe. I'll be here, waiting, forever. Because here's the thing about being dead. I've got nothing but time. And this coffee isn't going to drink itself. Actually, it can't. I'm a ghost. This whole situation is very complicated. See you in the next one.